Expanding of binomial square. Exercises 14 to 17. Expand the binomials below by applying the formula for binomial square and the rules of exponents provided on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to use the formula for binomial square. A plus b in parentheses squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. I'm also going to use the following rules of exponents. Power of a product with two factors, ab in parentheses to the nth power equals to a to the nth power multiplied by b to the nth power. Power of a product with three factors, a times b times c in parentheses to the nth power equals to a to the nth power multiplied by b to the nth power multiplied by c to the nth power. I'm also going to use the power of a quotient a over b. A over b to the nth power equals to a to the nth power over b to the nth power, and this equation is true for all values of b different than 0. The next rule of exponents I'm going to use is power of a quotient ab over c. ab over c in parentheses to the nth power equals to a to the nth power multiplied by b to the nth power over c to the nth power. This equation is true for all values of c different than 0 because c is in the denominator of this fraction. And then the last rule of exponents that I'm going to use is power of a quotient abc over d. abc over d to the nth power equals to a to the nth power multiplied by b to the nth power multiplied by c to the nth power over d to the nth power. And this equation is true for all values of d that are different than 0 because d is in the denominator, and if it equals to 0 then it's undefined. Let's begin expanding the binomials. First binomial, x over 4 plus 2y in parentheses squared. As a first step, we need to apply the formula for binomial square. This equals to x over 4, the first term, squared, plus 2 times x over 4, which is the first term, multiplied by the second term, 2y, plus second term squared, 2y squared. X over 4 in parentheses squared. We can simplify this further by using the power of a quotient a over b rule of exponents. In other words, we can distribute the square to the x and to the 4, and this will equal to x squared over 4 squared, which is 16. Plus, let's take a look at the numerical part of the second term. We have 2 times 2 in the numerator and 4 in the denominator. Therefore, they cancel out. We have division 4 by 4, therefore it equals to 1. Or we have x, y as a middle term, plus 2 in y in parentheses squared. If we use the rule of exponents for power of a product with two factors, then we have 2 squared, 1 squared, which is actually 4y squared. Next exercise, 3x plus yz over 2 in parentheses squared. This equals to first term squared, 3x squared, plus 2 times the first term, 3x, multiplied by the second term, yz over 2, plus the second term, yz over 2 squared. 3x in parentheses squared equals to 3 squared x squared, or 9x squared. Plus, we have 2 in the numerator and 2 in denominator. They cancel out, therefore what's left is 3xyz plus yz over 2 in parentheses squared. We can simplify this by using power of a quotient ab over c. So this equals to y squared z squared over 2 squared, which is 4. Next exercise, 2ab over 3 plus c in parentheses squared. Again, as a first step, we apply the formula for binomial square, or it's the first term, 2ab over 3 squared, plus 2 times the first term, 2ab over 3, multiplied by the second term, c, plus second term squared. This equals to the first term. We can simplify further by using the power of a quotient a, b, c over d. In other words, we need to distribute the square to each factor of this term. So we have 2 squared, a squared, b squared in the numerator, or 4a squared, b squared, and then 3 squared in the denominator, which is 9, plus 2 times 2 is 4, a, b, c over 3, plus c squared. Next exercise, m over 6 plus 5np in parentheses squared is equals to m over 6 in parentheses squared plus 2 times m over 6 multiplied by 5 and p, the second term, plus 5 and p in parentheses squared. Is equals to, if we apply the rule for power of a quotient a over b for m over 6 squared, then we get m squared over 6 squared, which is 36. In the second term, 2 is in the numerator of the fraction, and 6 is in the denominator, and 2 is a factor of 6, therefore we can reduce this fraction, and we get 5m and p over 3 as a middle term, plus 5np squared. We distribute the square for each factor, and we get 5 squared, which is 25, multiplied by n squared, p squared. Next exercise, x over 2 plus yz over 3 in parentheses squared. This equals to x over 2 in parentheses squared plus 2 times x over 2 multiplied by yz over 3 plus yz over 3 in parentheses squared. X over 2 in parentheses squared equals to x squared over 2 squared, which is 4. In the middle term, we can reduce again the fractions. It becomes xyz over 3 plus yz over 3. We can use the power of a quotient ab over c rule to simplify this and apply the square to each factor. So this equals to y squared z squared over 3 squared, which is 9. Next exercise. mn over 4 plus 2p over 5 in parentheses squared. This equals to mn over 4 squared. Again, we apply the formula for binomial square. 2 times first term, second term, mn over 4 multiplied by 2p over 5 plus the second term squared, 2p over 5 in parentheses squared. We use the power of a quotient AB over C rule and distribute the exponent 2 to each factor. This way we get m squared n squared over 4 squared, which is 16 for this first term, plus here we have 2 times 2, which is 4 in numerator, and we have 4 in denominator, so really they all cancel out and we get ones. Therefore, what we have left is m and p over 5 is our middle term, plus 2p over 5 in parentheses square is 2 squared, which is 4, p squared over 5 squared, 25. Next exercise. ABC plus d over 4 in parentheses squared. This equals to ABC in parentheses squared plus 2 times ABC times d over 4 plus d over 4 in parentheses squared. Now we can use the power of a product with 3 factors rule, and this equals to a squared, b squared, c squared, plus we have 2 in numerator and 4 in denominator. We can reduce that and we get a, b, c, d over 2 plus d over 4 is d squared, 4 squared, which is 16. Next exercise. 1 over 7 plus xyz over 2 in parentheses squared. This equals to 1/7 squared plus 2 times 1 over 7 multiplied by x, y, z over 2 plus x, y, z over 2 in parentheses squared. We have 1 squared, 1 over 7 squared, 49, plus we have 2 and 2 which cancel out. This is a 1 here. And so we have left with x, y, z over 7. Plus, if we use the power of a quotient a, b, c over d, rule of exponents, we can then simplify this x, y, z over 2 to the power of 2, and we get x squared, y squared, z squared over 2 squared, which is 4. And this concludes our exercises. Thank you so much for watching and learning.